ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा। So tomorrow is most auspicious appearance day of Sevak Bhagwan Sri Balram Ji ki Jai.
हरि बोल जय।
So tomorrow is most auspicious Balram Purnima, and the people they usually, specifically North India, they also have this Raksha Bandhan festival on that very day. So today, on this auspicious occasion, we are beginning the series of discussion upon the pastimes of Lord Balramji, specifically killing Pralambasura. So Pralambasur, or called Pralamba, a very special character. And before that, we must know a special character, the hero of our discussion, Sri Balramji. So Sri Balramji is who we should know first. So Balramji is first manifestation or first prakash of Krishna. So he is first, we can say the first expansion of the Lord in Golok Vrindavan, is the first expansion of the Lord. So Lord Balram and Krishna exactly looks like same, but only color is different, Srila Prabhupada says. So, but both are Vishnu Tattva, yet Balaramji is supreme personality of servitor God, where Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. Ekalik Ishware Krishna are sab भृत्या, আর ভৃত্যের মধ্যে সব সর্বোচ্চম হয় Sri Balramji. So he is the top class servitor of the Lord. There is no one who could be bigger servant than Balramji. So Balramji, he manifests himself everywhere wherever Lord goes. When Lord comes down in Dwarka, he stays still as Balram. In Mathura also he is there with Balram as Balram. In Ayodhya Lila, he expands himself as Lakshmanji. Then we see in whole Vaikuntha, he's always there with Narayana in different forms and different paraphernalia. Practically, whole spiritual world is nothing but expansion of Balramji in the incarnation of Shesh. Yeah. So whole spiritual world is manifestation of Balramji, and that expansion in which he serves the Lord in different realm, whether it is Vaikuntha, whether it is Mathura, Dwarka, Ayodhya, he is called to be Shesh. And when for the living entities here in this material world to facilitate their return back again home, back to Godhead, Lord again comes because Lord Narayana himself comes as Mahavishnu. He comes as Hirodakshai, Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So here that same Balram expands himself as Ananta Shesh to hold throughout the whole multiple universes he holds upon his head as Ananta. And again, he becomes the bed of the Lord in Shira Sagar as well as in Garbhodak Sagar. He becomes the bed of the Lord. So Lord Balram is everywhere practically. And he is the supreme personality of servitor God. He always accompanying the Lord. Before Lord goes, Balramji goes there to make all the arrangements. Like specifically in Ayodhya Lila, wherever Lord goes along with Mother Sita in jungle, Lord Balramji as Lakshman, he makes all the arrangements, making all that paraphernalia ready, thatched hut, water for drinking, getting the vegetables, roots, everything for cooking for Mother Sita. And for the whole 14 years, Lakshmanji never took rest, right? Never took even nap also. So that is to mean serving. And the same personality expands for all of us as spiritual master. So Balramji expands himself as a spiritual master. A spiritual master is representative of Sri Balramji. So Balramji character is very, very important. Out of Vrindavan, Balramji appears, and also seemingly Krishna appears in Mathura. And before Krishna appears in the womb of Mother Devaki, Balramji appears. And before Balramji appears, there are 6 demons who appears. They're called Garbhasuras. So they were killed by this Mathura Raj Kans, or Bhoj Raj Kans. And after those 6 demons, there were actually 6 anarthas: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mad, and Matsarya. So the womb of Mother Devaki is actually just like the heart of a jiva. And before that, Balram comes, and this all these anarthas has to go away. And a final touch has to be given by Balramji by appearing there in the womb of Mother Devaki. Then later on, he transfers himself, or Krishna transfers Balramji into the womb of Rohini Mata. So that's why his name is also called Sankarsan. Srila Prabhupada says. That's why his name is Sankarsan. So Balramji or Gurudev, representative of Balramji, he prepares our heart so that Krishna can reside there. And Guru's instruction and Guru's service has to come into the life of a jiva before Krishna coming into the heart of a jiva. Otherwise, there is no other way out. So Guru's mercy doesn't mean that somebody has just taken Diksha and he has got this, okay, one type of mercy. But seriousness to follow the instructions of Sri Guru and hearing from him very attentively is of the prime importance for any jiva to have Krishna in his heart. So here we see Balramji comes and he prepares the womb of Mother Devaki for Krishna to appear. Similarly for jiva, also he need to bring the instructions of his spiritual master into his heart. How? By hearing through ears. So then what will happen? He will surely get purified, and at the same time, what will happen? Krishna prapti hoye jahan hoite. That same jiva will able to get to Krishna. So without Guru's instruction, without Balram's mercy, is it possible to get Krishna? Seemingly not. Seemingly not. So when Balramji he is transferred to Vrindavan into the womb of Rohini Mata. So there he appears in Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, Lord does many, many pastimes along with the Lord Sri Krishna. And in killing business, he does 2 killings. So who are those 2 killings? The first killing was done by Balramji, that was killing of Dhenukasura. And the second killing was this, today's discussion. Second killing is killing of Pralambasura. Right? So Dhenukasura was killed by Balramji, and Pralambasura is killed by also Balramji. So of course, out of Vrindavan, Lord also had Balramji killed many other demons. So we shall not be going to those demons today and tomorrow. So today we shall be beginning the chapter of 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 18th chapter, where the description of Lord Balaram slays the demon Pralamba comes. So let's go ahead straight. So before that, I just wanted to discuss a bit about Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's analogy, wonderful analogy Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives, that all demons who were killed in Vrindavan, that actually represents anarthas in our heart. So the demons which were killed and their corresponding anarthas are actually could be removed by mercy of Sri Guru and by the effort of a sadhaka, the jiva. The two things are required. Effort is required as well as mercy of Sri Guru is required. The first demon which was killed by Balramji, his name was what? Dhenukasur. So Dhenukasur is nothing but ignorance of the position of jiva, right? Or we can say ignorance of knowledge that we are not this body, we are soul, we are eternal servant of Krishna. So there are many devotees of Krishna we see, they have some type of sentimental devotion. Okay, that okay, Krishna मुझे बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं, and uh, and they see different movies and videos, and they sing different types of beautiful, colorful bhajans from here and there. But the tattva gyan, that who are they have very much big confusion of. They are not knowing that who are they. They are just doing so-called bhakti on the mental platform, we can say. So they don't have any understanding that who are they. Tattva Vibrahma means they do not know that they are not this body, they are soul, and they are eternal servant of Krishna. So sometimes they sing this demigod bhajan, sometimes they sing Krishna's bhajan and all that, so like that. So this is called Dhenukasura. So ignorance of our own identity. That is represented by Dhenukasura. And also Dhenukasura represents the mentality to control or mentality to possess something. If I cannot enjoy something, then others should not enjoy. Like Dhenukasur, he was staying in the place which was actually that belongs to Kansa, that was Talavana. And in Talvan, so much of tal fruits were there. And Kansa had told Dhanuka to guard the tal juice, the tal fruits. And himself, he was not eating much. He used to eat little bit. But he was not allowing others also to take part of it, take even one small little fruit also from there. So this is also there in the sometimes in the sadhakas, that extra possessive mentality. I will not enjoy the fruit of my own labor. I will not also let anybody else to take. And not to the devotees. भक्तों को तो बिल्कुल नहीं देना है. I will keep all my hard earned money. Dhanuka. Dhanuka is also called Gradhavasur, Gadha. So he'll work like Gadha and he make a lot of money, but he'll not spare him a single penny for pleasure of Krishna. Right? So super possessive mentality. This super possessive mentality which comes in a devotee's life is very, very dangerous. So it keep a devotee for many, many lifetimes on the karmatkamam enak sarira baddha. He will live karmatmakam. He will not let go for the service of Krishna, the resources which comes in his life. So this Dhanukasur has to be killed. So after Dhanukasur have been killed by Lord Balramji, Balramji comes. Uh, these pastimes are actually happening in Vrindavan. So near Vrindavan, we can say Chatikara, near where Krishna and Balaram had been shifted from Gokul Mahavan. So they are there. And just after the pastime of Kalia, uh, subduing of Kalia took place. And immediately after that, this pastime also take place. So one day before, when Kalia was subdued by the Lord, so Krishna had gone to herd the cows without Balram. Without Balram, he had gone. And Yashoda Mata was always thinking that if Balram is there around Krishna, then Krishna is always saved. Always he is safe, in safe position. because Balram is Bada Bhaiya. So he will always take care of him. So that day, when Krishna went to that place, Balram didn't go. So, but next day, and this was not so. Balram, along with Balram, Krishna goes for herding the cows. And let's begin with our discussion from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 18th chapter. So I will share with you all the sloka. Then I will read the sloka and the translation. There is just a little purports, and most of the slokas are actually having only translation. So let's see. Let's go ahead. Is it visual now, Prabhu?
Not, yes, Prabhu.
So this is one of the smallest chapter in 10th canto, and there are just 32 number total 32 slokas. So we shall complete it in two parts. Could be 16 slokas we shall cover today, and rest of the sloka we shall try to cover tomorrow. Shri Shuka Vacha. Okay, before that, let's have little invocation prayer for Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana. Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om
ॐ
Namo
नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
ॐ नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Narayanam Namaskrityam Naran
ॐ
Chaiva Narottamam
नरोत्तमं
Devim
देवीं
Saraswatim
सरस्वतीं
Vyasam
व्यासं
Tतो Mudire
मुदीरये
Nashtaprayam
नष्टप्रायेषु नित्यं भगवते
Sevaya
सेवया
Bhagavati Uttamaśloke
भगवतेरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी।
So let's begin. Sri Shuka Uvacha Atha Krishna Parivrito Gyatibhirmuditaatmabhi Anugiyamano Navishadvarjam Gokulamanditam. Sukadeva Goswami said, surrounded by his blissful companions who constantly chanted his glories, Sri Krishna then entered the village of Braj, which was decorated with herds of cows. So, what is happening here? So, Sukadeva Goswami is telling that previous day, what happened? There was a fight between Krishna and Kaliya. And when Kaliya was subdued and Kaliya was banished by the Lord to go away from here, go away from Vrindavan, go somewhere else. He go to Nagaland, not Nagaland, Nagaland, to his own place. So there to stay. And that very night, because it was almost evening to have this all the pastimes, devotees, those who are like Nand Baba, Yashoda, and all the devotees, they have got the news that Krishna is fully into the clutches of Kaliya. They had came running. There was a real like trauma for all the Vrindavan Vasis, seeing Krishna into the clutches of Kaliya. And practically, Yashoda Maya, Nand Baba has become fully unconscious, seeing Krishna in such position. And all their Gopas also had already, they have left the body by the poison of this Kaliya. So that very night, they thought we will not return back again today to our own houses. We shall stay in jungle only. आज हम लोग जंगल में ही रहेंगे because so many cows are there and already रात हो चुकी है night time. So they stayed in jungle, and that very night what happened? In the night there was some demon, something came and put fire in the jungle. जंगल में आग लगी थी same night. So that was another trauma. And all the devotees started crying, Hey Krishna, Hey Balram. And Krishna and Balram saved them all. They just drank all the fire inside. So they were there in the jungle only. So early morning, what happens? Early morning that they are going to go back again to their own village. So here the chapter doesn't starts with Krishna and Balram going to jungle, but Krishna and Balram going to their own village. From where? From the jungle, from where they were there, staying for the last day. Stay. So surrounded by his blissful companions who constantly chanted his glories. So companions means they will chant the glories. Means those who are devotees of the Lord, they're always happy. Muditatma vihi. Muditat means always happy. How anugiyamano navishat. They're always chanting the glories of the Lord. So this will be the also aspiration for the devotees that they could only be happy when they glorify the Lord. And in this way, they're always Krishna is surrounded by such devotees. Krishna parivrito gyati bhi muditatma bhi. Let's go to text 2. ब्रजे विक्रीडतोरेवं गोपालछद्ममायया ग्रीष्मो नामर्तुरभवन् नातिप्रेयान् शरीरिणाम् व्रजे विक्रीडतोर एवं. So in Vraj, in Vrindavan, Braj means Vrindavan because they are in Vrindavan. Translation: while Krishna and Balram were thus enjoying life in Vrindavan in the guise of ordinary cowherd boys, the summer season gradually appeared. This season is not very pleasing to embodied souls. So, Sariri Nam, jo Sariri hai, we are all. So, hot season in India is not so much welcome. Srila Prabhupada writes here. In chapter 18, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada comments as follows. The summer season in India is not very much welcome because of the excessive heat. But in Vrindavan, everyone was pleased because summer there appeared just like spring. So that description is going to come in the future slokas. So Vraje Vikridatorevam. In Vrindavan, they this Krishna and Balram, they wanted to have a special krida, a special lila. Vraje Vikriditam. So Acharya describes Vikriditam means Vishesh krida they are going to do. Gopal Chadma Maya, their supreme personality of Godheads, but having covered themselves Chadma Maya, they are acting like a Gopal. And comes where their Grishma Nam Ritur, the season of summer. And Sanatana Goswami very beautiful writes, for Vrindavan, the Grishma Nam Ritu means Nam ka Ritu aata hai. It's like Nam. Means Grishma, if it is not Grishma. If summer is not hot, what type of Grishma is that? What type of hot is that? So, but for the Sariri Nam, for the conditioned souls, the summer season is no priyan, nati priyan. It's not so pleasing. But for Vrindavan Vasis, this Grishma Ritu, the summer season was also very, very pleasing. Why? Because the Grishma Ritu came in Vrindavan just for the namesake. Nam Ritu, Grishmo Nam Ritu Abhavan. And what are the factors which makes Vrindavan even in summer season to be like spring? That's going to get described here by Slasudeva Goswami. So let's go ahead. स च वृन्दावनगुणैर्वसन्त इव लक्षितः यत्रास्ते भगवान् साक्षात् रामेण सह केशवः स च वृंदावन गुणैर. तो ये वृंदावन का गुण है कि इवन ग्रीष्म ऋतु was
Sacha
also
Vrindavana Guna.
even in the grishma ritu everywhere it was like basanta, it's like spring season. Yatraste, what is mentioned here, yatraste bhagwan sakshat ramena sah keshava. Yatraste, here it is told, Slasmanatram Goswami tells that things are used here in present tense. Yatraste bhagwan sakshat means in Vrindavan still Lord is staying in Vrindavan. Yatraste bhagwan sakshat ramena sah keshava. With Rama, Balramji, Krishna, the Keshav, who is the controller of Brahma and Shiva, he still stays there in Vrindavan. So, translation goes like this. Nevertheless, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead was personally staying in Vrindavan along with Balaram, summer manifested the qualities of spring. Such are the features of land of Vrindavan. So, Lord Krishna and Balaram is still there living in Vrindavan. So those who want to search him out, they can go to Vrindavan. They can search out Krishna Balram, is still there. Sanatana Goswami tells. And this is the beauty, this is the power of Vrindavan, that even the Grishma Ritu, the summer season, behaves like Basant, or what we say. What is the meaning of Basant here? Basanta Iva Lakshita, spring season, right? Spring season. Let's go ahead. So these are the different things which makes summer to be spring in Vrindavan. Yatra nirjara nirada nivritta svana jhillikam sasvata shikaraj shikara rajisa shikara rijisha druma mandala manditam. So yatra nirjara nirada. Translation is like this. In Vrindavan, the loud sound of waterfalls covered the cricket's noise. So in daytime also there are many what we say crickets. What we say Hindi they say jingur. In night time they become very prominently heard. Like this. So actually it's not like they don't speak in the daytime. The daytime also they sing like this. But actually a lot of so much of sound is there around. That's why we are not able to hear them. So loud sound of waterfalls covered the cricket's noise. The crickets means the jingurus. No, what is this? Uh, Jillikam, the crickets. Yatra nirdhara nihirada nivritta swana jillikam. And tat saswat tat shikar rijisa shikar. Shikar means the drops of water. Rijisha Truma Mandala Manditam. And the waterfalls were falling from the high altitude. And what was there? There's some breeze also going across the spring. The breeze were taking the moistened water from the spring and spraying throughout the whole jungle. Everywhere, wherever there was trees, everywhere it was throwing that spray, moistened by spray. So the cluster of trees constantly moistened by spray from those waterfalls beautified in the entire area. So before going to go for a pastime, we must set the mood, because unless we go to the place where this pastime happening doesn't look like we have gone there, right? That's why this setting of the scene is very, very important. So how Vrindavan looks like in the summer season. Now practically here we have rainy season, but it looks like summer only. It's quite hot. So we could feel like how could be the situation of Vrindavan in summer season. So that time it was like different because Govardhan was too huge, too much tall then, and there are so many springs also then. Nowadays we don't find any spring. To that time it was so. So let's go ahead. So, and the following three verses describe how Vrindavan manifested the features of spring even during summer season. So, what are the things here? Waterfalls. The first thing which makes big difference. Waterfalls, many waterfalls in Vrindavan, and the waterfalls from there, the spray of water moistens throughout the whole jungle area. So then some more things are there. सरित्सरः प्रश्रवणोर्मी वायुना कहलारकञ्जोत्पलरेणुहारिणा न विद्यते यत्र वनौकसां निदाघवहनर्क भवोति साद्वले सरित्सरः प्रश्रवणोर्मी वायुना. So the wind wafting over the waves of the lakes and flowing rivers carried away the pollen of many varieties of lotuses and water lilies, and then cooled the entire Vrindavan area. Thus, the residents there did not suffer from the heat generated by the blazing summer sun and the seasonal forest fires. Indeed, Vrindavan was abundant with fresh green grass. So, there are some more uh, factors which were responsible to make the summer season into Basanta season, spring season. What are they? Sarit Sara Prasravanor Vayuna. So there are many, many rivers. Just like we say in Mayapur Dham, Nadia, there are many rivers. So actually Mayapur and Vrindavan is not different. So in those days, Vrindavan also many, many rivers were seen. It's not like just one river, Yamuna. Yamuna was there, the prominent. There are many, many other Sarit Sara. Sarit means river and Sara means lakes. So Sarit Sara Prasravanurmi Vayuna. Prasravanurmi means they had many waves going here and there throughout the whole, all sides. Vayuna Kahlar Kanjot Pal Renu Harina. And this air which were flowing over the rivers and lakes, they were stealing the pollens from different lotuses like Kahlar, Kanja, Utpala. So they are like, Srila Sanatana Goswami tells that they are like thieves. These airs were like thieves, were stealing the pollen from these different lotuses, Kahlar, Kanja, Utpala. And they were taking that pollens and along with that cooling, no, that cooling effect of river and the pond, and they're spreading everywhere. Navidyate yatra manaukasam davo. And because of this cooling air, breeze moving throughout the whole Vrindavan, the Vrindavan Vasis, Vanaukasham, they were Nadavo Nidaga Vahani Arka. So they were not getting heat, the effect of heat, Nadavo. Nidag Vahani Arka Bhavo Ati Sadvale. So they were not feeling the summer season to be like summer season. And the heat of sun and Ati Sadvale, where there was abundance of green grass because of this effect. So like this, these are the another we see how many one more factor, the breezes coming out from the lakes, and there are many many lakes. So there are three factors we discussed, which makes Vrindavan in summer season also to be like spring. So let's go to sloka 6. अगाधतोय हृदिनीतटोर्मभिर् द्रवत्पुरुष्या पुलिनय समन्ततः न यत्र चन्दां सुकरा विशोल्बणा भुवोरशं साद्वलितं च गृह्णते अगाधतोयो हृदीनि तटोर्मिभिर्. And those rivers, the ponds, they were not like shallow ponds having little water. थोड़े थोड़े जल वाले. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji.
Prabhu, are you able to hear me? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
वो बीच बीच में कट रहा था.
बीच में कट रहा है. There is network issue here, little bit. So you have to kindly bear with me, Prabhu. Sorry for the disturbances. So let's continue on. So we are discussing that those rivers and those rivers and the ponds were not shallow ponds. They were very deep. Agat. Dravat Purusha Puline Samantata. And they're always flushing. They're always, they're just, the waves were just always going toward the banks. And in this way, the banks were always wet. Dravat Purusha Puline Samantata. And because of, there are so many ponds and they were all deep ponds and deep rivers. And so the waves were they were always going toward the banks, and because of that, the sun was not able to sap the humidity or the wetness of the Vrindavan area. Bhuva rasam sadvalitam cha grinate. So I'm just sharing with you all. Yeah. Nayatra chandam sukaro visholbana. So the sun rays were chanda, very severe, and because of that, even though so much severe, the rivers waves were always flushing with a new fresh water toward the shores, and because of that, the shores were always wet, and water were available for all the trees, all the creepers and grasses. And even in so much sun, these grasses were not get dry. So, with their flowing waves, the deep rivers drains their banks, making them damp and muddy. Thus, the rays of the sun, which were as fierce as poison, could not evaporate the earth's sap or parch its green grass. So, this is the fourth one. You see what? The waves of this deep rivers and lakes. The fourth one. So, these are the things because of which the summer season also looks like spring season in Vrindavan. So, then this is the setting, these are factors now given by Srila Sukadeva Goswami because of which summer also become like spring. Now let's go ahead. What Srila Sukadeva Goswami tells about what is happening in jungle of Vrindavan. Vanam kushamitam shriman nadaschitra mrigadvijam gayan mayur brahmaram kujat kokila sarasam. Vanam kusumitam shriman. Shriman means the beauty of Vrindavan. Vrindavan is described here. Charioteers. So, what is the beauty of Vrindavan? They're not only all everything everywhere is green, even in summer season also everything is green. At the same time, flowers beautifully decorated the forest of Vrindavan. Vanam kusumitam shriman. Kusumitam is the flowers. And nadas chitra mirgadijam. Nadat means they're making sound. बोलते हैं ना नाद कर रहा है. It's making huge sound. So chitra mirgadvijam, different types of animals, they are creating a different types of sound. Nadat chitra mirgadvijam. Mirga means the animals and dvijam means the birds. Dvijam also means a person who is, and what's called second initiated person called also dvij, or twice born. So because birds are also born twice, right? Birds first they take birth from the womb of their mother as eggs, and the eggs when they hatch and when maturity comes, and from those eggs small chicklets, small buddies they come out. So like this, these birds also get two births. That's why they are called dvija. Also, those who are Brahmanical initiated, they also get birth twice. So these birds are also called dvija. So flowers beautifully decorated the forest of Vrindavan, and many varieties of animals and birds filled it with sound. And peacocks and bees sang. So they were making sound, and some birds were making they are singing like peacocks. And so peacocks are now still found in the Vrindavan area. So Gayan Mayura Brahmaram and the Bhaura are also making sound. And Mayura was making singing sound, a different singing sound. I cannot make it. Kujat Kokila Sarasam, and this kokil, the cuckoos and cranes, they were cooing. Of course, cuckoos, they coo, we know it very well, everywhere around the whole Indian peninsula. Sarasam cranes, so they were all cooing. So this was the scene in Vrindavan. Let's go to next. Text 8. Kiridisyamanastat Krishno Bhagavan Balasangitaha Venum Viranayan Goper Godhane Samrito Vishat. So, Kiridisyamanastat Krishna. There, Krishna is fully engaged in wonderful play, intending to play. Translation: intending to engage in pastimes, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, accompanied by Lord Balaram, and surrounded by the cowherd boys and the cows, entered the forest of Vrindavan as he played his flute. So, all of them went in morning again. They are going back to the jungle. So, after having described the summer season in Vrindavan, Srila Sukadeva Goswami describing very special pastime. Now, so intending to engage in pastime, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God, accompanied by Lord Balaram, because today, this time is going to be a very special pastime. That's why we have seen in the beginning of our today's discussion, Vikridamano means Vishesh Leela is going to take place. That's why Krishna is going with Balaram. Bhagavan Bala Sangyuta. Krishna Bhagavan is going with Balaram. So special pastime is going to take place. So Venum Viranayan Gopair Godhane Samrito Vishat. And And these all different gopas, they are also playing the flute. Godhane samrito vishat. So surrounded by the cows are also called Godhan. They were wealth of the Gopalas, the cowherd boys. So surrounded by these cows, they all entered into the forest. And what did they do in the forest? प्रवाल बर्हस्तबकस्रग धातु कृत भूषणा राम कृष्णादयो गोपा नंद्रतु युयुधुर जगुहु. So when they entered into the jungle, they decorated themselves with special ornaments. So Krishna and Balaram, they were decorated by their mothers with very special, costly, golden and different gems. But when they used to enter into jungle, they used to remove them all, and they used to have a special jungle ornaments. So they used to decorate themselves with special ornaments. And what were they? They were these things. Decorating themselves with newly grown leaves. So newly grown leaves. Pravala. Along with peacock feathers. Pravala Barha. Baraha Pidam Natavarapu. Along with peacock feathers. Baraha. Garland, srak, clusters of birds, clusters of flower birds, stabaka, and colored minerals, dhatu. Balram, Krishna, and their cowherd friends danced, wrestled, and sang. So this is what do they do? So they entered and they decorated themselves with these all natural resources which were available in the jungle, and they did what? They danced, wrestled, and sang. Acharya says that they danced, wrestled, and sang all together. Some people are dancing, some people are wrestling, and some people are singing. And also, they happen to do this. Some people are dancing. When they were dancing, others were singing in the same rhythm of dance. And some people were actually making some musical instruments, and they're playing some musical instrument to give a uh, good match with their dance and with their singing. So some people, some boys were actually playing some kartal or different, like they have covered boys. They have special musical instruments. Like covered boys, they have one instrument that always there with them, that is flute. It's not like only Krishna plays the flute. Every covered boy they had the flute. As well as they had a bugle. What does this mean? Bugle. Bugle or basically bugul. Bugul means a special type of horn. I mean, it's like a horn of buffalo. So in Gocharan, the buffalo also used to go. It's not only cows. Buffalo also used to go. So buffalo, many times they fight with each other. So while fighting, they break their horns. So when the horns are broken, and the horns from inside, when it is like made to be hollow, so that could be made in very special sound, like exactly like conch shell, like this. So the cowherd boys, they also had this bugle, and they also have kartal also. That's going to be discussed. So there they made this music with all these things. Krishnasya nityatah kechid jagu kechid avadayan venu pani tale shringai prasasmur athapare. So Krishnasya nityatah. The first who is dancing, Krishna himself is dancing. Krishnasya nityatah. While Krishna was dancing, some of them, they accompanied with music, avadayan, venu, and some of them, they did kartal playing. So they were knowing kartal, right? Also, pani tale. Pani means kar, and tal means the same tal. So we say kartal, and here it is told pani tal. Pani tale, shringa with buffalo horns, prasas masuhu, and those who are not playing and not dancing, they were glorifying. Wah, wah, क्या 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 मस्त डांस कर रहे हैं कृष्णा, तुम क्या मस्त बजा रहे हो. So they were glorifying others. Atha apare and others. So these are not ordinary souls. We should understand they are perfectly pure souls, having perfectly done their devotion service after many, many lifetimes. They have come to play with Lord Sri Krishna. The very beautiful sloka comes at another place in Srimad Bhagavatam that these people, those who are dancing, they are going frolicking with Krishna. They're not just ordinary souls. They have done heaps of pious activities for many, many lifetimes. Then they have come to the platform where they're able to play with Krishna. Shakam Vijaru Krita Punya Punja. Shakam Vijaru. Now they are moving around with Krishna. Krita Punya Punja. They have done Punya, means the devotional service for a lot of amount. So nobody could understand what is their position. They seems to be like ordinary cowherd boys, but who were they in the previous life? Nobody knows. So now they are perfectly pure in that position. They are having a wonderful pastimes, and these pastimes is not like just fun, but the mood is always to how to give pleasure to Krishna, right? So Krishna is dancing for the pleasure of his devotees, and devotees are doing, playing mirdanga and sorry, not mirdanga here, kartal and bugle and venu for the pleasure of Krishna. It's not like they are playing for their sewing sake. Okay, see how I can play the bugle and how I can play the kartal. So that is their uh, uh, beautiful reciprocation with Krishna. Krishna is also dancing for their pleasure, and other coward boy they're dancing, they're playing different musical instruments for Krishna's pleasure and other devotees' pleasure. Not only Krishna's pleasure, but other devotees' pleasure, as well as there are somewhere glorifying them, glorifying with open heart. That how nice, well done, wow, wow. So they were telling like that. So wanting to encourage Sri Krishna, some of the coward boy openly praised his dancing, openly praised his dancing. Yeah. So Gop Jati Pratichanna Deva Gopal Rupinau Edire Krishna Rama Ucha Nata even Natam Nripa. Gop Jati Pratichanna. In the Devatas, they have disguised themselves as to be Gop Jati, and they are now playing with Krishna and Balaram. O king, demigods disguise themselves as members of coward community, and just as dramatic dancers praise another dancer who worshipped Krishna and Balaram, who were also appearing as cowherd boys. So Krishna and Balaram, they were like cowherd boys. So Acharya tells him the Devata, they will come in the self-same body. Then Krishna and Balaram, they will feel like, my God, these great people has come here. So they will immediately become like little into reverence, and that will be quite awkward. So these devatas, they took part in association and they worshipped the Lord, taking the form of gopas. Yeah. So as well as today we were discussing with devotees. Every day we do reading Chaitanya Charitamrita with some close number of devotees. So we were discussing there. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami tells, Srila Prabhupada tells in a purport that those who are here, they're practicing Krishna consciousness very seriously, sincerely. In this very lifetime, after getting purified, they will go to that universe where Lord Sri Krishna is now going to take and going to do his pastimes. And there they will take birth in the womb of a gopi. And there they will get direct association with Krishna in this universe. I mean, this in this material world, in one of the universe. So when they will get fully trained in association with Krishna in Gokul Vrindavan, Bhauma Vrindavan, then after fully purified, fully perfected their life, they will eternally return home back to Godhead in Golok Vrindavan, in the spiritual world. So these demigods, they were like those souls who had done devotional service for many, many lifetimes and having perfected. So they have appeared in Gokul, in the house of Gopas and Gopis, the elder Gopas and Gopis, and they're acting like friends of Krishna and Balaram. Ramaner Langane Chepe Ashphotana Vikarshane Shikridaturnyudhena Kakapaksha Dharav Kvachit. So like this all great souls are entered into the company of Krishna and Balaram as Gopabalakas. And now what they are doing, they are playing different types of plays. What are the different types of plays mentioned here? Krishna and Balram played with their cowherd boyfriends by whirling about, leaping, hurling, slapping, and fighting. Sometimes Krishna and Balram would pull the hair on the boys' heads. Oh. So, the Acharyas explain this verse as follows. The word Brahmane indicates that the boys, pretending they were machines, would sometimes whirl about until they become dizzy. But sometimes I don't know, like about all of you, but in the childhood times, we used to whirl around. We whirl so fast and so much that when you become static, I mean, you stand, then you feel like you are still whirling. The whole world is whirling. Even though you are standing, the whole world will keep whirling like this. That was also one of the play they used to do. They would also sometimes jump about, langane. They would jump from one person to another. The word chepe indicates that sometimes they would hurl objects like balls or stones, and that sometimes they would grab each other by the arms and throw one another about. They'll throw one person to another person, right? So this is called chepe. And also they used to throw balls like uh, bilwa fruit or amlaki fruit, and these fruits looks like ball. So aspotana means that sometimes they would slap one another's shoulders or back. Aspotana. They used to make such sound. Vikarsana means they used to drag one another about in the midst of their play. By the word niyudhena, arm wrestling, and other types of friendly fighting are indicated. And the word kakapaksha, dharav means Krishna and Balram would sometimes grab the hair on the other boys' heads in a playful manner. So kakapaksha means their hairs were like quite good amount of hairs were there, and some curly hairs were there. So they used to fight. While fighting, they used to hold each other these hairs also. They used to fight like that. क्वचिन् नृत्यत्सु चान्येषु गायकौ वादकौ स्वयं सस ससस ससमस सशंसतुर्महाराज साधु साधु इति वादिनो सशंसतुर्महाराज. So Sukadeva Goswami is telling, "Oh Maharaj Parikshit, you are such a great devotee that now you are able to hear. You have such a great eagerness to hear about Krishna and Balaram, wonderful pastimes in Vrindavan. So sometimes while the other boys were dancing, O king, Krishna and Balaram would sometimes accompany them with song and instrumental music. So previously we saw Krishna was dancing and other cowherd boys were singing and playing music, different type of musical instrument they were playing. And now again, in return, now others are dancing, other boys are dancing. And the boys were dancing, O king, and Krishna and Balaram would sometimes accompany them with song and instrumental music. So like when Krishna is dancing and others are playing. Now, others were also dancing, Krishna and Balaram there singing the song. And they're also saying, wow, wow, very good, very nice, sadhu, sadhu, sasam satu. So in devotee association also, when some devotee does very good in any service, then devotee they say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu vada. So instrumental music, and sometimes the Lord would praise the boys, saying, very good, wow, wow, wonderful. क्वचित् बिल्वै क्वचित् कुम्भै क्वच आमलकमुष्टिभिः अस्पृश्य नेत्रबन्धादै क्वचिन् मृग खगेहया. So these are the plays they used to do. Sometimes the cowherd boys would play with bilva, kvachit kumbha fruit, and sometimes with handful of amlaka fruits. Amlaka is not different, same amla as amlaka is amlaki, amla they say. At other times, they would play the games of trying to touch one another or of trying to identify somebody while one is blindfolded. And sometimes they would imitate animals and birds. So, Srila Sanatana Goswami explains that the Adhyay but other such sports indicates such games as chasing one another and building bridges. Another pastime would occur at noon while Lord Krishna was taking rest. Nearby, the young cowherd girls would be passing by, singing, and Krishna's boyfriends would pretend to inquire from them about the price of milk. Then the boys would steal yogurt and other items from them and run away. So Krishna and Balaram and their friends would also play games in which they would cross the rivers in boats. So like these different pastimes they used to do. So there are some number of slokas we'll discuss, and after that, when the onset of Pralamba would come, Pralambasur, so from there we shall discuss tomorrow. So let's see text 15. क्वचिच्च दर्दुरप्लावैर् विविधैर् उपहासकैः कदाचित् स्यन्दोलीकया कर्हिचिन्नृपचेष्टया. So they would sometimes jump around like frogs, sometimes play various jokes, sometimes ride in the swings, and sometimes imitate monarch. So they would jump like a frog. Seeing the frog, they jump, and they also jump, used to jump just like frogs. The frog would jump into the water, they also jump into water. And they will play various jokes. At one place, it's mentioned that they used to go to another well, and they used to say into well to into their in own image. They will say bad words, and from the well, echo will come, and they will laugh. So like that. So they will go to well and say, "Hey, tum kaun hai?" So the echo will come, "Tum kaun hai?" So again say, "Ha ha ha." अरे मैं तुमको पता नहीं बोले फिर तो बैग से तुमको पता नहीं मैं नंद का पुत्र हूँ मैं नंद का पुत्र हूँ they will make a laughter about it. So see, this fellow inside is saying Nandaka Putru. Nandaka, the West, only one son is there. How is saying that I'm also Nandaka Putru? So like this, sometimes ride in the swing, like swing festival is not going on, and sometimes imitate monarchs. So imitate monarchs, La Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur tells that they used to act like monarch and ask for the tax from gopis. Those were taking the gopis were taking some milk products. They ask for a tax, and we are the monarch, and you have to give the tax. एवं तौ लोक सिद्धाभि क्रीडाभि शेरतुर्भने नद्य अद्रि द्रोणी कुंजेषु काननेषु सरसु च. In this way, Krishna and Balram played all sort of well-known games as they wander among the rivers. So these all games are very famous in the villages. Children they used to play. Of course, in our generation we played. Now I don't know what people they play. Now people only play uh, games in the mobile. Hardly they play any games like even I don't know cricket they play of course. But these were the play children used to play most often in villages, and there are no other play then. So, to Lokasiddhavi, these plays were actually very famous into public. Lokasiddhavi, Kridavi, Shera Turvani. Nadi, Adri, Droni, Kunjesu, Kananesu, Sarasuchu. Where they didn't play? In the rivers they played, in the mountains they played, in the Droni, in the plateau of two mountains they played, in the Kunjesu they played, Kananesu in the jungle they played, everywhere they played. So now the Pralambasura enters. पशुं शारयतोर्गोपैस् तद्वने रामकृष्णयोः गोपरूपी प्रलम्बोगान् असुरस्तर्जिहीर्षया. So while Ramakrishna and their cowherd friends were thus tending the cows in that Vrindavan forest, the demon Pralamba entered their midst. He had assumed the form of a cowherd boy with the intention of kidnapping Krishna and Balram. So exactly 16 slokas after the number again 16 stays back for us to discuss tomorrow. So let wait for tomorrow. We shall discuss the killing of Pralamba. Hare Krishna. So very beautiful description here of Vrindavan pastimes. Very sweet to speak, very pleasurable to speak and hear also. Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So I think we are exceeding the time. Anything to say? Any devotee like to give any comment? I will wind up today here. There is a chat here. So can it ever happen that just like here we get bored by doing the same thing again and again? In Vaikuntha they also get bored. And this is also is there also envy, anger, thief, coward boy stealing yogurts, and Radharani is getting angry with Krishna and Gopi. So all the types of things which we are feeling in the material world are there. But only in transcendental pure perspective just different. That means every time there is a chance to fall. Oh my God. Arvind Prabhu is asking question, giving answer, then again he is asking question. Okay. So there is no chance to fall down, Prabhu, from a spiritual world. With all pastimes are happening on the pure platform, transcendental pleasure, and in the intention of giving Krishna's pleasure, pleasure to Krishna. There is no inability. Of course, the similar things are happening in this world, stealing and all that. But these stealings are actually for the pleasure of Krishna. Right? Stealing for the pleasure of devotees. And there is no material inability into it. So whoever is there in the spiritual world, they don't need to fall down, and if somebody goes back home, back to God again, why? कौन सा कुत्ता काटेगा उसको तो फिर से गिरेगा. So why he'll come down again in this material world, right? So it's not like that after returning home back to God, somebody falls down. There could be a chance, means like 0.0000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000000 is also there, but to again back, and that chance is also there, but because when Krishna will desire that, oh, Arvind Prabhu, could you go and do some preaching and come back again to Bhuloka? That is chance for that, and not otherwise. Okay, Prabhu. Okay, fine. So hopefully this would help. Arka Tiwari Prabhu, yes.
So, that we are Gaudiya, so we are supposed to aspire go to the Navadvip Dham spiritual world. And why? Because we are followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then why we are supposed to emphasizing so much to return back to Goloka? I'm still not aware about these things. So could you please explain?
Who emphasizes returning home back to God, Baba?
No, matlab, we are majority of our acharya is saying that return back to Godhead to Goloka, but we are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, but we are the follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are supposed to have urge to return back to Navadvip Dham spiritual world. Then
Navdeep Dham, Goloka is same thing, na? It's not like we have to return to Navdeep Dham and Goloka is different. In Goloka only there is one section Navdeep. There is Svetadip, one section. That Svetadip is not different from Navdeep Dham. Navdeep Dham and Golok Vrindavan, there is no difference at all. So somebody is returning to Golok Vrindavan. It could be like he is returning to Golok Vrindavan. And also there is also Acharya tells that one is there in Navdeep also, and at the same time he could be in Vrindavan also. So it's like that. So there is no difference between Navdeep Dham and Golok Vrindavan Dham. It's both the same thing. Even thinking that both are different, that is Dhama Parad. Thinking even that Vrindavan and Mayapur is different, Dhama Parad, comes in Dhama Parad. Navdeep Bhavataranga describes. So both are same thing. If you return to Navdeep, means at the same time you return to Vrindavan. Right? Again, like in material world also we see, it is told that Sweta Ganga in Puri is having connection with main Ganga. So one panda, he took deep in Sweta Ganga and he came out in that Ganga. And that's why they say that Sweta Ganga and Ganga is same. So in spiritual realm, spiritual science, this holds true. And you enter there and you enter both places. In material world also it happens. Now Google Docs or Google Sheets and Google Forms, these, if we edit here, then automatically it will get edited everywhere, right? In every system. You open there, वहां पे भी डेटा आ गया, वहां पता चल रहा है कौन टाइप कर रहा है, वहां लिख लिख भी जाए, like that. So if it is possible here in the material world, everything is so connected. So why not it's there in the spiritual world? So somebody returns home to Navdeep and also he is at the same time he's there in Golok Vrindavan. Isn't it? Okay, fine.
thank you.
Hare Krishna. बलराम जी की जय, वैष्णव प्रभुपाद की जय.
Jai.
Anything else? Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji, one question is there. Like silly question. Like how we can get mercy of the Lord Balaram? What
Yeah,
we
mercy of
can
Lord
get
Balram.
mercy?
We discussed in the beginning, na, the mercy of Lord Balram is accessible by taking up the instructions of Sri Guru in the heart. That's the way of getting the mercy of Lord Balram. In Ayodhya Lila also Lord has done similar pastimes. Like Mother Sita, she happened to disobey Lakshman. Lakshman is representative of Guru, and because of that she got kidnapped. Similarly, here Balramji also, he actually uh, he is the cardinal Guru, he is the Adi Guru, Adidas. So means who represents Adidas, Adi Guru here in the material world with us? Is spiritual master. So if we hear from his spiritual master and follow his instructions very strictly without having any duplicitousness, that's very, very important. Then we are surely going to get the mercy of Lord Balaramji. And then by the mercy of Lord Balaram, we'll surely get Radha and Krishna, right? That's what it mentioned in that Nittayara Kripa Hobe, Braja Radha Krishna Pabe, right? By the mercy of Lord Nityananda, Balaram, one will surely get Krishna, Radha Krishna in Vrindavan. So, how the mercy of Lord Nityananda could one can get? By taking up the instructions of Sri Guru, right? So, unless somebody takes up the instruction of Sri Guru, Gurudev, and really follows it, of course, it is difficult to follow sometimes, but that's the cost that's the price we have to pay. It's not so easy. Everything is not just easy. Okay, I've got diksha, then I don't hear, don't listen from Guru. I don't follow anything. I just whatever I feel like I will do. So then we'll not get the mercy of Balramji. Balramji is he the Haladhara. Haldar means he just plows on the field of our heart. And what will happen by plowing? All the weeds will come out. Anarthas, weeds will come out. And the land of our heart will become very soft, very burbura, very much soft. And in that seed of Krishna Bhakti could be planted very nicely and irrigated very nicely when the heart becomes soft. So unless heart becomes soft, heart becomes like hard-hearted. Uh, So then what Krishna Bhakti will do? The heart has to become soft. So the softness will come only somebody takes up service to the Lord, service to Sri Guru. Of course, service to Sri Guru means service to the Lord. So then heart becomes very soft. Krishna makes arrangement, the heart becomes soft. And then heart becomes soft when then the Krishna Prema arises in that heart. Isn't it? Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
Okay. So thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna Balaram ki jai. Gaur Premanande.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Bol.